And we are back. Game 2, PAC-8 playoffs. This one, Oregon and Washington. Now, you do know that I am an Oregon broadcaster. I am sitting here wearing Oregon hockey gear, as is Dylan. We have been given explicit instructions to be neutral broadcaster tonight. This is a PAC-8 broadcast, so I will keep doing my standards here. I will be a neutral broadcaster. I will be a neutral broadcaster.
Absolutely.
I will be a neutral broadcaster. That said, the best dressed team in the nation is on the ice tonight. Oregon debuting new jerseys tonight from Rebirth Sports with the duck on the front. Washington will be in their white jerseys. These teams very familiar with each other. They played 4 times this year, and it has not gone Oregon's way, to put it lightly. Washington is the highest scoring team, interestingly enough, in the West region in the ACHA. 32 goals for Washington in 3 games against Oregon. 1 goal in that 4th game. So the big question tonight, if you are wearing green and yellow, is which Oregon team is going to show up. And the problem for the Ducks all year has just been bodies. You look at their roster, you watch them warming up. This is a full Duck team. Trevor Schott is back in action tonight, although I have yet to see him. We're told he's back in action tonight. And this, if he is, it will be the first time that the Ducks have an entirely full roster since about Christmas.
Yep.
But even at an entirely full roster, as we do see Trevor there, so that's a confirmation, but even with an entirely full roster, Oregon's just at about 80% capacity this year. They just don't have the bodies, and the problem for them has been third period of games. We saw it against Cal especially. They can be going, in a game going into that third period, and then the wheels have just come off a couple of different times for Oregon. You can point to any number of different factors, and it's something that, Dylan and I have kind of scratched our heads about a lot. We talked with a lot of the guys on the bus ride up here. There's a couple of different independent factors. I don't think there's any one reason why Oregon has maybe had a little bit of a drop-off this year. But, that said, all that talk of drop-offs aside, if the Ducks win this game, I think they'll just fine with the I-5 Cup being north of the Columbia. If Washington has the I-5 Cup, but Oregon gets the win in the postseason, I think we'll call that a draw, at the very least. For Washington, there's a couple of guys we can circle on that roster. Alex Black, he should be wearing number 9. Christian Cinderella wearing number 10. Cinderella made some disgusting moves in Washington's I-5 Cup clinching game. I can think of one in particular that I can still see. I see it pretty much every time I close my eyes.
Absolutely.
He just deked his way through the neutral zone, beat about 3 different guys, and then was able to go top shelf on a very capable Jackson Howery in goal. And for Howery, the numbers don't look very good because he just faces too many damn shots.
Yep.
And that's been, a lot of that has to do with bodies, and especially on defense. Oregon's basically functioning this year with 2 defensive pairs. And then they have guys like Jesse Leonard and Cody Dries offensively that are capable of playing a little bit of defense, but that's not what they're naturally comfortable playing. A full hockey roster is 4 forward lines, 3 defensemen, and a couple of scratches and 2 goalies. And Oregon just doesn't have that many people.
Yep.
And for Washington, we talked about Cinderella. Tavin Jackson, I believe, is their leading scorer. But the number you'll really want to circle and keep an eye out for is 21 in white. Devin Garg, Shattuck St. Mary's product. We understand he was a 4-year JV guy at Shattuck, but still, Shattuck St. Mary's is preparatory hockey. And when we've seen Garg, he didn't look in the second half of the I-5 Cup. We only saw him in Game 4. He didn't look quite as impressive as he did on home ice. He didn't play in the 3rd game, which was really the most important of the 3. So we have to assume that he's nursing some injury, and I don't know if he's going to be back to full speed yet. But man, when we saw him go at 100% in Seattle,
absolutely.
When he puts the afterburners on, forget it.
Yep. Nobody can catch him on the ice. He's one of those players that he's a pleasure to watch, and he's lethal out there. Speaking for the Ducks, Jackson Howery is going to need to have a huge game, as we've seen in the past for the Ducks. The goalie's definitely going to need to be a big part of this team. For the Huskies, we talked about him before. I honestly think Christian Cinderella is going to step up and be that producer, that playmaker for the Huskies. His name is Cinderella, but call him Mary Poppins. He has got an unlimited number of tricks in his bag.
I have no response to that. Dylan. And you talked about the goalies. It is worth mentioning at least once. You know what? James Feldman looks like he might get the start for Washington tonight. So it is not if that does happen, it would not be the same two goalies that we saw come to blows in the third game of the I-5 Cup, the undisputed highlight of my broadcasting career. I had some of the Washington State coaches or the USC coaches come up to me before their game and ask if I was the broadcast guy. I guess that that goalie fight video has found its way around the PAC-8.
You know what's interesting is two of the nicest guys on the ice. You know, they were chatting after the game.
And that was a game that really went downhill, and the referees even said to the other guys, you look at your goalies for an example. Have a good fight, shake hands.
Absolutely, yeah. No love lost, absolute respect between the two players. And, they were, for lack of better words, they were a little bit bored towards the end of that game. You know, it's unfortunate, it got a little out of hand, but we're going to take a break here.
We're going to take a quick break for the anthem. Neutral broadcaster, but old habits may die hard, and I make no promises.
You know, Isaac, as big as the first game was, as good of a game as it was, I think it's going to be absolutely fitting that the Ducks face the Huskies to determine each team's berth, and
this is a big game for the rest of the tournament.
Exactly.
USC is going to be watching this game. I would expect to see they're going to get themselves cleaned up and watch the rest of this game. If not, they will at least have their eyes glued to the internet, because if Oregon wins this game, SC has to play Utah. If Washington wins this game, SC has to play Cal, and either of those games would be interesting. But we are ready here. Oregon debuting those new greens tonight. We'll call them the Apple Greens. Washington in white. I-5 Cup extra episode about to get underway. It's the first playoff meeting of the I-5 Cup since we're guessing around 2010. These teams have met in the playoffs before. They've met for the PAC-8 championship before, but it's been a while since we've seen them with a postseason matchup. And right away, that puck is going to go all the way down into the Duck zone. 19:54 on the clock, and the Huskies already with the faceoff in the attacking zone. Ducks will try to get to that. Troy Gasser throws it in, and kick save made by Howery. Long rebound was there, but no harm on it. Close in front, and there wasn't any Duck in front of that Husky player. It was Alex Black trying to get on it. Now the Ducks get that puck out of their own zone. They'll get it through the neutral zone as Chris Campbell was crunched against the boards. Just had to throw it in. Washington collects it. Here come the Huskies now. Good cross-ice pass for Washington. And a great move there, trying to get around Trevor Schott. Didn't quite do it, and then Schott wasn't able to follow the puck. Ducks now with it in their own zone. Ducks pass it off the boards. Jesse Leonard gets it up to it. Huskies want icing, but Leonard definitely played that puck, so nothing doing there. Zach Foss just does keep that one in. It'll go around the corner. And now Schott on it. This is Trevor Schott's first game, incidentally, since the I-5 Cup Game 3 that featured the goalie fight on Trevor Schott's match penalty. Ended up serving a 3-game suspension and missed both of those Cal games. Put a lot of pressure on Nick Scabara when he did miss those Cal games. Now here come the Huskies with it. Mason Friedman on it. Friedman shoots, side netting. Now up for Christian Cinderella. Again, watch number 10 in white. Anytime you see him on the ice, he's got a lot that he's capable of doing. Perhaps a budding broadcaster as well. Christian Cinderella missed the 4th game of the I-5 Cup. Once all was said and done, he had an injury. They wanted to keep him out, and he joined Lorenzo Villalobos on that one on color, and have to assume he did a capable job. Michael Luke will go to chase that one down. Michael Luke, one of the enforcers on this Duck squad, but also a sound defenseman, and that's something that he's really kind of developed and added to his game this year. Puck's in front, it's loose, and ends up squirting through, and can't quite get it out of the zone, can the Ducks. Taron Donnelly with it. A few of these guys for Oregon, by the way, do get new numbers tonight. Chris Maddox goes from 29 to 8, and Seth Starr goes from sometimes whatever to sometimes 66. He's in 27 tonight. I think that's all that's different, but if I can't figure out who a Duck is, that's going to be the reason. Almost too many men in front of the Duck bench there, but they were able to do just a good enough job to get the guys off the ice. That one too far in front of Skabara, icing the call.
And we're seeing the Huskies right now with a lot of time in the Duck zone. They're they're getting good looks. Nothing hit the back of the net so far, but the Huskies that came out to play definitely, and it's going to be smash mouth hockey tonight between the Ducks and the Huskies.
And when is it not? And the face-off is in that Duck zone. They will win the face-off, and it's swung around. Couldn't control it, though, so the Huskies now with it in their own zone. Jesse Leonard will go behind the net to make Washington think about it. And now Oregon trying to poke that puck away and take it away from the Huskies, but Washington collects it again. Through to the neutral zone, and now it'll go all the way around Cairns the entire length of the ice. Darren Toller will get a touch to it there. Tried to get it to center, but no one there in green. Jesse Leonard now. Leonard makes the pass through and taken away, poke checked away from Chris Campbell there, and now icing again, as Campbell will be asked to return to the ice from whence he came. 16:31 left first period. Still no score. Ducks and Huskies on PAC-8 tournament I-5 Cup edition.
So far, we're seeing both teams just kind of feel each other out. You know, what are each team playing with so far? Christian Cinderella, obviously a big hitter, a big player for UW. Ducks back with Trevor Schott, obviously one of the biggest pieces in that jigsaw puzzle. Always a great producer for that first line.
And well, it's always interesting in the I-5 Cup. The Ducks shot that one through from about the blue line. Save was easily made by James Feldman there, but he didn't hold it, and the puck was loose, and the ref saw that, so he wasn't going to blow the whistle, and that gave Oregon a chance to kind of crash on Feldman a little bit. He realized what was going on, and he closed the barn doors on the puck, but keep an eye on that. Any kind of contact towards a goaltender, especially in a rivalry game, does have a way of raising the temperature a little bit if Jake Yale has to play back to his defense. Yale then a touch from Schott, and now it'll go back behind the net. Zach Foss out there. Foss, Yale, and Schott. I don't know that we've seen that exact combination of guys before this year. One thing that Coach Bill Leahy's done for Oregon this year is really mixed lines around a lot, and a lot of that's been by necessity, as Sam Rosenrose, Michael Luke rather, doing Michael Luke things on that hit, separating man from puck. But Coach Leahy, as we were saying, has really shuffled the lines around. A lot of that's been by necessity. Here's Jake Yale. Jake Yale shoots, goes wide, and he goes into the net. That might be that's a penalty shot being awarded, I believe.
That's what I'm seeing so far. This is interesting. Well, I don't know about that one.
It looked like Yale probably got, if he got tripped, I think he got tripped after he took the shot.
Yeah.
And that's certainly an argument from Washington, although this is a point I've made many times. Matt Cleaton, by the way, is incensed that that's being called at all.
Absolutely. You know, it's, I kind of saw that behind after the play, after Jake Yale got that away. But I think they've got a case. It's an interesting call. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, and this is us. This is us being unbiased, questioning calls that go in Oregon's favor.
Yeah, I don't know, especially in the first period. I think that was good defense, good strong defense played on Jake Yale, and it looks like they are going to give him the penalty shot. Let's see what happens
here.
here.
They're gonna stick with the call. So, is it Rosenberg that's going to take it, or is it that looks a little small for Sammy?
That is Jake Yale.
So here is Jake Yale, 15:28 left first period, and the Ducks coordinator has a penalty shot. Yale with it now across the blue line. Thinks about a move. Another move, and a great save, Feldman.
Great save by Feldman. Huge opportunity for the Ducks early on and huge momentum that could have been won, but Feldman just left no questions about it, was more than equal to it.
And, it was great. Good all-around play there. Yale really made the most of that opportunity. Penalty shot doesn't have a particularly high success rate. But that one looks for a moment like it might, but Feldman able to kind of give a moment, or give an opening rather, and then take it away at the last second, which is really the mark of a good goaltender, when you can give something and take it away. Pat Taylor goes for a big hit here. Taylor looking to replicate an excellent performance in last year's tournament. Shot there from the Ducks goes wide. Oregon turning it on a little bit here now, getting the hits are going, but Washington with the puck. 15 minutes now left in this first period. That one hit Sam Rosenberg, so it doesn't go all the way out. And Washington still trying to get the puck out of their own zone. That one just thrown by Joe Hoover. Why not? And nearly ended up squeaking in the back door there. Puck still loose in front, but Washington there first. And now they're on it, and now they'll comfortably move it out of the zone. Ryan Hammerin had it, but goes all the way down. Ducks trying to get to that one.
And that's going to be huge for the Ducks. We see the Huskies have such speed that, the Ducks are putting a lot of pressure into their offensive zone. Their forecheck is coming out full force, but if the Huskies can catch them, that's going to be dangerous, committing that many men up front.
And here's Joe Hoover with it now. Joe Hoover, who scored a goal with 0.8 of a second left to get Oregon its tie against Washington this year. Call him Joe .8. A game that was 1-0 for about half the game. Washington scored in the second period, and Joe was able to score with 0.8 of a second left, and then they played through overtime, and we expected we might see a shootout just for I-5 Cup purposes. It didn't happen, and Washington has taken the lead.
Talk about hard angles, man. He threw that one right on. It looked like it squeaked 5-hole right through Jackson Howery's skates. He didn't even notice, and great awareness just to throw it on net. You can't score if you don't shoot.
Well, Lucas Semke looked like number 12, had that goal for Washington. It's a 1-0 Husky lead. And Ducks get the puck off the face-off here. Zach Foss throws it in and then is hit against the boards. Ducks still trying to get it. Ducks trying to center. Puck goes to the corner. And that one goes the length of the ice. Howery will have to make a save, and it's a real quick whistle there, as it looked like Jackson was thinking about playing that puck, but the whistle goes.
Yeah, interesting. The Huskies are really rolling right now. They've got a lot of speed. They've got a lot of momentum, especially after that first goal. Obviously, if you're the Huskies, you want to come out, and that's exactly what you want to do. You want to execute cleanly, as they've been able to do. They've been able to pass and really pass with purpose. As you can say, Ducks have been not doing that as effectively as the Huskies, and we see that on the scoreboard.
So Washington again. Maybe it's something about being north of the Columbia. Both Washington teams have been able to jump out to 1-0 leads, Washington and Washington State. That one intercepted by Washington in the neutral zone. Oregon trying to get a clearance on it. The Ducks do get a new group out there, but they have to work on getting the puck away from Alex Black as it stands. Jesse Leonard has it now, and Leonard had a touch for not sure who that Duck was there. Couldn't quite get a read on that number. Looked a little bit too big to be Nick Shabara. As Jesse Leonard goes to give chase to that one, but icing the call.
And this is what we've kind of seen so far in the first half of this first period for the Ducks. They're doing that, they're trying to work the breakout pass, but unable to find anyone into the neutral zone, and it just it's either picked apart by the Huskies or it just drifts all the way into their offensive zone called for icing. That's that's going to be something to tune up throughout the rest of this game.
Absolutely. Clean face-off win there from Cody Dries, and the Ducks now will try and skate with it a little bit, still trying to move with it. And we got a whistle behind the play, high sticking. Was it just played with a high stick, or do we actually have a penalty called here? It looks like the latter. So Oregon is going to jump to the power play. The call for Washington goes against Mason Friedman. And the face-off, as it will do, will roll all the way down into the Husky zone. Jake Yale will dig in for the face-off. Zach Foss out there. Cody Dries rounds out the offensive group. And Taryn Donnelly and Trevor Schott will quarterback the power play on the point. Behind the net, Gasser lays a hit. And now Gasser gets the puck away and will just shovel it all the way down the length of the ice. However, he's got to tap it away. Donnelly will go to collect it. Donnelly with the pass for Yale. Yale does get it across the ice to Trevor Schott. Here's Trevor. Trevor goes down. He'll get a trip call there. And that one will draw the whistle immediately as the net got knocked off. So 5-on-3 for a $1:31 for the Ducks. Enormous opportunity for Oregon.
Yeah, this is going to be huge for the Ducks, to reclaim some of that momentum that the Huskies stole early on with that one, the first goal. I don't know. I think the Huskies definitely have the speed to be threatening as well. If they have no trouble, as we've seen in the past, clearing their defensive zone, and we're hearing a lot of commotion from both sides. Great crowd tonight.
Absolutely. Now Joe Hoover. Hoover with it, D-to-D pass. Now back to Hoover. Hoover takes a shot. It's kicked away by Feldman. And it goes up into the netting. 1:52 left on the second penalty, which went tripping against Ryan Hammerin. A minute 22 left on that first penalty. So 5-on-3 for a minute 22 for Oregon, trailing 1-0. You hate to call anything in the first period of a game a must-score opportunity, but this feels a little bit like that for the Ducks. That goes wide, has to be collected. Again, Washington will just sort of let Oregon pass it around the perimeter here on the 5-on-3, although they got a stick in the way of that one, made it a bit more difficult. Now back for Hoover. Hoover, one-time opportunity was there, but they couldn't get a clean handle on it. Now Oregon shoots, and it's knocked away into the netting.
Great patience by the Huskies to just sit home and really wait for their opportunity. That's what you got to do playing 5-on-3. It's pretty tough. It's easy to get compressed if you're being complacent. You're not really paying attention to where the other people on your team are on the ice. But they're doing great so far.
Cycling, and now are the Ducks. Again, still with the 5-on-3 for 52 seconds. Taryn Donnelly with it. Donnelly was trying to get it to Zach Foss, who was breaking in and didn't see it, and now it will go the length of the ice. Howery will have to try to pass it. Good job there to keep it from going off the netting, but couldn't get it to a Duck, and it just goes, we'll play a little bit of ping pong here. 33 seconds left still on the 5-on-3. Here's Zach Foss. Foss back now for Michael Luke, and Luke back to Foss. Foss shoots center, maybe it was a pass centering. They couldn't get it. And that one goes the length of the ice, and 21 seconds left on this penalty, 5-on-3. And then 30 seconds will be after that.
Huskies not bothered so far, able to clear the zone very easily. Oh, absolute miscue there in the neutral zone by the Ducks.
And that's really going to kill the rest of the 5-on-3 off for Washington. They still have 30 seconds left on that second penalty, but it's back to 5-on-4. Here's Chris Campbell. Campbell around a man, and he'll come back to get it. That caroms around. Washington's going to try to touch it. Jesse Leonard might get it, or back to Trevor Schott. And now back for Leonard. Leonard to Donnelly. His shot didn't get through. Still bouncing around in front. Jesse Leonard found on a shot, but was able to get it on the backhand, keep it in the Husky zone. Now back for Donnelly. Behind the net again. Jesse Leonard to get it. Huskies back to full strength. 5-on-5 again now. as it is just barely kept in the zone. Chris Campbell takes a shot. Rebound is there. Long rebound for the Ducks. Looked like they might have scored. I think it was side netting. And Chris Campbell broke a stick there, or maybe just lost it, and then had it kicked away. And Howery got himself in a lot of trouble there. Howery's got to get back to the net. He's trying to lay a body. Washington just trying to center it, and somehow that's all going to come out in the wash for Oregon. But
oh boy,
that was a nightmarish 15 seconds there.
Absolutely. You know, you got to be kicking yourself if you're the Huskies not capitalizing on that gimme opportunity. That was Jackson Howery was way outside the net, and you know, if they could have got it on a stick, I'm sure they would have put that one home.
And I don't know if Jackson maybe didn't realize that the power play was over there, and if that's why he went to the corner to try and play that. He is a goaltender who's very good stick handling, and that's something that, you know, Coach Leahy has said in his favor so far. And the referees will want Howery to play that puck, which is interesting because, you know, a couple moments ago, they blew it as soon as it hit his glove when there was less pressure. But it is what it is, and I think Howery wanted the face-off there the whole way anyway. So just kicked off a 2 or 3 seconds worth of ice time, but that's really all, and we're not gonna get upset about it. Still 1-0. Huskies do lead this one. Oregon has looked strong, but the Huskies have the goal. Ducks still trying to get it out of their own zone. Joe Hoover now for Seth Starr. Seth Starr moves past a couple of guys. Starr's confidence has really increased in the last few games, and he just gets hit hard after that shot there, but was able to get it all the way through. And then he lays a hit of his own, and that will be a penalty. Or maybe there was an infraction earlier. There will be hits and there will be penalties in this game. Still waiting on to see what the call is. Looks like Cody Drees is skating toward the box.
17, Cody Drees. Didn't see the call, but if I had to guess, probably going to be roughing.
Yeah, and given that we didn't see it, we will certainly say that the referees had the better angle. And Cody sits for 2 minutes.
I guess we get no hand single, so I guess that one's
a mystery call.
Make that one up.
We'll assume roughing.
Probably roughing. It's a choose your own adventure at home. If you want to dial in, go ahead and choose to do so.
Still trying to get the penalty actually put up on the scoreboard. There we go.
Scoreboard guys had a little bit of trouble tonight. But you know what? It's the first day. We're here.
We're working out all the kinks.
We are working out all the kinks. It is 2 minutes this time. We did see a 5-minute.
We saw a 5-minute minor.
5-minute minor in the game before, so at least he's improvement. The game's all about improvement here.
Well, now it's the Ducks that have to kill the penalty, and a good job by Oregon getting that clear immediately. Feldman now has to play the puck, and Washington in their own zone setting up on the power play. Oregon with a little bit of that aggressive PK we've seen from them in years past. Not as much this year, but it has still made a few appearances. Zach Foss tried to clear that one out. Couldn't get it cleanly. Sets right back up for Washington. Troy Gasser fires. Save made. Howery. And now the clearance from the Ducks one more time. $1:30 still left on the power play. Oregon gets a new group out there, as Chris Campbell does not seem to own a green shell yet. So Huskies trying to move it around. Ryan Hammerin couldn't quite get to that, but it ends up working out as it gets back into the Duck zone, and now cleared. 1:05 left, 7:47 left first period. Washington with the 1-goal lead on the Lucas Semke Clapper. Here is Devin Garg. Garg's got a lot of speed, as we've talked about, a lot of good skating ability, as we've talked about, and he showed it a little bit there. Maybe for a half a second he thought about the wraparound. Instead, just kind of goes back the long way and got back to the point. And they'll go back to Garg again behind the net. Garg with speed again. Back to the point one more time. 36 seconds left on the penalty. Cinderella at the point for the Huskies. And they go back for Christian Cinderella. He fires it, though, again back into the corner. And Tavin Jackson poking it around a little bit. 14 ticks left on the penalty. As that one tipped up into the netting behind the play.
Absolute laser. That hit Jackson Howery's stick and knocked it out of his hands. And so far from the Huskies, patience is the name of the game. They're not too rushed, and I'm liking what they're looking like out there so far.
Both sets of parents and fans making their voices heard tonight. They may have to be separated before the night is over. These teams so far doing a pretty good job of being well behaved. But, you know, things tend to develop till closer to the third period. Joe Hoover knocks a man away to get to that puck, and Oregon will have a chance. Zach Foss tips it up for Trevor Schott. Here comes Trevor Schott. Shot with Yale, tipped away, but it will come back for Zach Foss. Zach Foss now in the corner, behind again for Yale, who couldn't control it. And now back out. Schott.
Oh.
Not sure what if he saw, maybe thought he saw something that he didn't there, but passed it for nobody. 6:17 left. And again for Trevor Schott, this is his first game since the third I-5 Cup game in about 3 weeks of actual real time since he's last played, but he is one of the players to watch, certainly for the Ducks, has probably the best hands on the team and in the conversation for the best hands in the conference. Pass a little bit too far out in front, but all comes out in the wash. Here comes Trevor. Trevor couldn't quite slide that one home. But it will stay in the Husky zone. They've got to work hard for it, do the Huskies. They try and carom it around. Ducks will poke that. And now back, Huskies still with it. 5:35 left. First period. Huskies with a 1-0 lead. Not quite able to keep it in the zone are the Ducks. Washington with it now. They try to pass it off the boards. It goes only as far as Sam Rosenberg, who has a little conversation there with J.D. White. And now here come the Huskies with it, regrouping. Trying to get it through the neutral zone. Oh, big collision there. Joe Hoover at center ice, and then Pat Taylor took out Jackson Howery, but great clean hit from Hoover there. And we've got another inadvertent buzzer and a whistle. This is the second time we've had that happen. And the buzzer sometimes these scorers will use to get the referees over to the box if, hold on, wait, don't drop the puck. I didn't get the penalty on the board yet. But this is the second time that we've seen somebody's hand just hit the buzzer button, and the referees have chosen to blow it dead, which I'm not sure. I'd be interested to hear from a referee if there's a hard and fast rule there.
You know, we saw that in the last game go in favor of the Cougars, and they ended up getting a goal out of it.
And here's Joe Hoover. Hoover goes down. Oregon shoots, and it's just wide, and almost twice now that we've seen that perhaps lead to a goal. Here's Nick Scabara. Out too far out in front of Campbell. Hoover tries to knock it down, just able to keep it in the zone. Rather, that was Leonard trying to knock it down, and then Hoover kept it in the zone, but not long enough for Oregon to do anything with it, and the Huskies take possession. Ducks trying to just keep it alive, and they go off there, or the puck out of play. Offside, looks like the call.
The crazy frog song that I haven't heard probably since 2004. We're reaching into
we're going
iTunes
deep
library
into the
here.
vault. Deep into the vault tonight.
That's a classic.
Boy, if we're going this far back into the vault in game number 2.
Yeah, it's going to be a long one.
Two games tomorrow still, and two games on Sunday. That one shot wide. Oh, if there was only someone there for a rebound for Oregon, it would be 1-1 right now. But no one there to knock it home. Ducks doing trying to keep that puck in the Husky zone. Washington is just barely able to work with it and get it out. But now the Huskies need to just dump it in. Devin Garg will go to give chase. Ducks shield the puck away from him, though. You want to keep it away from 21 and White if you can. Troy Gasser with it. Knocked away by Oregon. The Ducks have been doing a good job of that so far tonight in the neutral zone. Jake Yale tried to keep it alive. Behind the net now for the Ducks, but Schott can't keep it cleanly. Foss trying to move it away. Gasser now with it for the Huskies with Jake Yale pursuing. Good turn from Jake Yale there not to get too lost. And Semke will throw it forward trying to get it to the captain for the Huskies. That's Braden Kochak.
The Huskies will go for a change here, get some fresh legs.
And looks like the Ducks got at least one new guy out there as well. And trying to get to it now, taking a spill, is Pat Taylor. And Huskies still with it. D to D for the Huskies in their own zone. 3:02 left. Big hit thrown by Seth Starr. And then he has someone run into him after that. So he can really lay the body, can Seth Starr. And he's a rookie for the Ducks this year. We haven't seen much of him, but in the last couple weeks, we've really seen him come into his own. Cinderella with a shot there, but it was blocked before it ever got through to Jackson Howery. 2:42 left first period. Puck again behind the net in the Duck zone.
And that was the start of something dangerous. We kind of saw Cinderella light up there, get his feet under him. He was looking for a goal.
Huskies now, or Ducks trying to get it away. Huskies, again, keeping Oregon away from that puck. It's in the Duck zone right now. And Pat Taylor will be able to go to get to that when he plays it back for his defenseman. Now it's back to Taylor. He got to stick to it in the neutral zone. Gives Oregon a chance to change. And Washington also flipped it in. Ducks again still trying those long breakout passes. Chris Campbell's going to go to try to chase that one down. And if there was only one Husky he had to beat, I think he would have done it. But two was a little bit too tall in order. Campbell gets it back for Donnelly. Donnelly fired and deflected. Nick Sciabara now. And Donnelly again will have to go back to collect this one. Donnelly for Campbell. Campbell just throws it at Feldman. Feldman will play it back for his defense, and Washington tries to set up. Nick Sciabara, or Taron Donnelly rather, in the neutral zone. Campbell knocked a bit off the puck. And now back Sciabara for Luke. Jesse Leonard will just dump it in. Oregon gets a line change. 5 new bodies out there for the Ducks, including Harrison Landers, Jake Yale, Trevor Schott, Zach Foss, and is that perhaps Darren Toller's new number? Looks like Darren. Toller would be 26 in any other Duck jersey. Looks like he may be 6 in these new absolutely amazing Best of the Nation greens. That one I'm not going to make any promises about being unbiased on, because that's just factual that these jerseys are the best in the nation. Say what you want about an Oregon being a fashion show, but I like these. Back to game action here. Troy Gasser gains the blue line and shoots, and that one deflected. Another slap shot on the long rebound, as that was Tavin Jackson trying to find the back of the net, as he's done many, many times this season. But Howery was equal to the task. 31 ticks left in the first period. The 5th I-5 Cup matchup of the year, and the only one, really, at this point, that matters.
You know, we've seen the Huskies, you know, we don't have the manpower to keep tallies on shots, but the Huskies have got quite a few more than the Ducks just by eyeballing it.
Yeah, the eye test would certainly go to Washington on the shot clock. Although Oregon it's not that Oregon has not had any sustained attack, which has been a problem for them at times this season. Here's Devin Garg. 21's not a guy you want to have the puck with a lot of space. Knocked away, and Oregon doing a good job, just kind of fire drill defense there. And that will do it for the first period of play. 1-0 the score, a very competitive, very even, and for by the I-5 Cup standards, a very clean 20 minutes of play.
Absolutely.
We will hit the mute button, and we will be back with you for the second period. And we are back and we are underway. Second period of play here, and it is Oregon trailing Washington 1-0, but only 1-0. And again, as we've talked about a couple of times so far, this Ducks team is just a little bit or a lot bit short-staffed. They're at 100% capacity tonight, but their roster is just smaller. So this second and this third period of this game, very important for them as they will throw it the length of the ice for icing here.
That's going to be another icing for Oregon. You know, it's their passing hasn't been as clean as you'd like it if you're a Duck tonight, but I think there's room to improve. You know, they're still shaking off, still feeling out how UW's going to be playing the game, but there's a lot of hockey to be played.
As Washington will just throw that one into the corner. Tavin Jackson trying to get to it. Now trying to center is Washington, and that one up deflected into something. .19:33 left on that clock. Faceoff coming in the Oregon zone, and they'll get to it, but they can't hold control. Now the Ducks get it back D to D, and just onside is Washington. Trevor Schott, though, takes it away, and Trevor Schott will throw it toward the Washington bench. Troy Gasser to get it for Washington as that one up, and once again out of play. Does that sound like a broken record yet?
That's definitely going to be the top story for just about every single game we play in this rink. Beautiful ice, very picturesque window.
The window,
you know?
we've complained about the window. The window's great if you're here in person.
Oh, absolutely.
It makes it a little bit to a lot bit harder to film, but the window is gorgeous if you're here in person. You get a nice view of some snowy evergreens in the background, and you really couldn't ask for much more. Nice natural light when there is light. But now it's Washington. Tavin Jackson and Alex Black. Bit of a 2-on-1. Black scores.
It's a great centering pass to Black, and you know, it was wide open on the left side as Jackson Howard was playing the puck carrier. Just perfect centering pass. You couldn't ask for more on that one.
Trevor Schott was trying to get back on D there, but just wasn't quite able to catch up as Black makes it 2-0. And again, the problem for Oregon this year has been responding, not maybe when they're down 1-0, but when they get down 2 or 3-0, and there's the possibility for it to get away from them. Many times this year it has. So right now, down 2-0, basically an entire hockey game left. You know, two full periods for all intents and purposes. 2-0's not over by any chance. But the Ducks have struggled a little bit when they've gotten hit in the mouth this year. And Christian Cinderella going for the knockout there, but how are we able to make the save?
And that's kind of what's happened here so far tonight. The Huskies have come out and they've skated fast. You know, so far they've been looking a lot cleaner as far as passing and shot attempts go. The Ducks, to get back into it, you know, definitely can't hang their heads and can't lollygag at all. They got to play their game plan to a T and just keep on playing.
And right now they'll have to go D to D there. Chris Campbell with the touch. Campbell gains the red line and has to dump it in. Feldman a brief touch for his teammate. Now Oregon still with it. Ducks trying to center back for Campbell. Campbell put it down and took a shot, and it goes wide. Howery again has to go well out of his net to try to play that one. Ducks falling around a little bit here. And now again, dumped in. Campbell with the touch, hit off the rear end of Troy Gasser. And Washington now in their own zone, but with the puck. Back for Gasser. Gasser with the A on his chest, one of the captains for Washington, along with Braden Kochak and others. Joe Hoover gets to that and has it poked away, and now we'll try and move up ice for Jake Yale. Jake Yale will take a huge shot, and it goes high and wide, but Harrison Landers can't keep it in. Here's a big opportunity. Breakaway opportunity for Washington. Good save, Howery. 17-15 left, and it's still a 2-0 game as we've got two skaters and a referee going down there. And now here come the Ducks. Oregon now with an opportunity. Great stick move there. Back in there, Yale's there. And
That's somewhere.
that's somewhere. Unfortunately, it does not appear to be in the back of the net.
Oh, is that a glove save? What a glove save right there. That was a dangerous chance for the Ducks, and momentum-wise, that's just a huge save.
Yeah, there are some saves that are as big as a goal, and I think that was one of them for Washington. Obviously, it doesn't increase the lead, but big opportunity for the Ducks, not able to get it past Feldman, who is a large man between the pipes, and I think that had as much as anything else to do with that save. There was just more of him. But here comes Washington now. Washington skating around through the neutral zone. Tavin Jackson out there with Alex Black offensively. Ducks trying to poke it away. 16:36 left, second period. Seth Starr trying to get a touch for it, and now it's Seth Starr with the puck. Starr tries to get it through for Pat Taylor, but it's intercepted, and then Starr takes it right back for the Ducks. Here comes Oregon. Pat Taylor with it. Taylor crunched against the boards, and he has to go back around. That one will go the length of the ice and will be icing against Washington with 16:07 left in the second period.
Oregon's definitely, they're trying to respond. They're out there skating hard and they got their heads up looking for that pass into the neutral zone, and it's coming off a little bit better so far. They've had an amazing scoring chance in this second period. They're starting to turn it up a little bit.
And that one will just be chipped into the equipment of Feldman, and we'll do it all again with 16:04 left, second period.
You ever light it up like it's dynamite, Isaac?
Several times, actually.
Several times.
Several
Okay.
times.
Yeah.
Probably just agreed to something there that I don't know what it means, but I'll learn about that afterwards.
Feel the music and the rhythm of Tayo Cruz, Isaac.
Ducks with it. They get the shot, and it goes just wide of the cage. Back towards Darren Toller. Now Joe Hoover. And that one up again. No one knew where that puck was.
I wonder where that one went, Isaac. Up into the net again, and surprise, surprise, we're still in the Huskies' defensive zone.
So good job from the Ducks keeping it in that zone so far. Hoover will just rip it on, and that left a rebound, but there wasn't a Duck there to hammer it home, and Washington now takes it away. Darren Toller has to flip it back. And now Trevor Schott trying to guide his man directly into Darren Toller there. And a little bit of miscommunication perhaps behind the Duck net. Oregon, though, gets the puck, and they'll now set up in their own defensive zone. Nearly gave a gift to J.D. White there, but he wasn't able to stop it at his feet as the puck went right in front of him. Now Joe Hoover. Hoover flips it back around. And the Ducks will try to get to that. Hoover again. Hoover tried to turn and move it, couldn't do that and control the puck. He had his stick taken out from under him. And now J.D. White throws it along. Hoover again is now stuck a little bit in the Ducks zone. Trevor Schott tries to get to that one. Schott flips it for Yale. And now backhander from Schott goes off the side of the net, but the Ducks still retain possession. They try to center it. Can't get to it, could Rosenberg. And now Washington flips it down. Chance for Washington, and you've got some guys colliding with each other in the middle of the ice. Looks like we're all going to just chalk that up to physics and collisions and no penalties there as Taron Donnelly goes to try and get to that one. Puck in the Husky zone again, stuck to the corner. Trying to mook it around for Toller, and Toller couldn't get it centered. Now back the Ducks. In their own zone, it's Pat Taylor. Taylor tried to flip it off the boards, but no one there. Washington takes possession, and now here's Alex Black. Black in a lot of space. Black with a man in the middle. Great save, Howery. Absolutely a fantastic save
Absolutely.
from Jackson Howery there, and a very important goal or save there.
Great vision by Jackson Howery. Really two Husky players rather coming in on both angles at him, and he does a great job to just look them both down and wait for them to make the move. Charlie Conway.
Yeah, Mighty Ducks. You would expect anything less from the Duck broadcast here. Had a long discussion with some of the Ducks in one of the hotel rooms about who was who on the Ducks cast and the Ducks movie. Now we may be referring to people by their Disney counterpart as Troy Gasser takes a shot that was deflected there. Plays it up for Jesse Leonard. And Schiabara trying to hound the Huskies there. But Washington does gain the blue line. They get the shot right into Howery, though, with 13:16 left, second period. So again, just over 13 minutes left in this second period. With a win tonight, Washington runs into Utah. With a win tonight, Oregon, though, would get Cal on the basis of Cal being the highest seeded team and Oregon the lowest seeded team. If they win, they'll get Cal. Oh, great poke check there by Trevor Schott. That saved the goal, certainly. 12:57 left, second period. Penalty coming up against the Ducks. And they'll try to get the touch on it there, and they do. It's interesting. USC thought this, based on their Twitter, thought this tournament was a straight bracket. They determined immediately after their win that they would run into Cal tomorrow, which, based on what we're seeing right now, is not inaccurate, but also not the way the tournament is designed.
Still a lot of hockey to be played, and this is going to be really where we're going to see how the game's going to shape up. It's one of the keys for the Ducks to stay out of the penalty box. They've had trouble with that in the past. They've had trouble with that throughout this season, and it's really a big coaching point as far as Coach Leahy is concerned. You know, it's
it's been forever.
Yes.
And I think that they, I believe it's Seth Starr that took the penalty. They've got 21 up there, but I think it was actually 27. 21 would be Harrison Landers if he is indeed the guilty party. Troy Gasser with the shot, hit side netting there. Huskies may have thought they had a goal, and Howery will just pounce on that one as it rebounds off the backboards.
Maybe a little bit of a conversation from Howery. Definitely not one to shy away from those conversations down there. He definitely likes to let people know where his territory is. He's a feisty guy. He
is a feisty guy, and if you're a fan of PAC-8 hockey, even if you're not a fan of these two teams, but certainly if you are, you know what happened with Jackson Howery and Washington's other goalie, Jeffrey Miles, at the third I-5 Cup game. If you don't and you can't take the hint, there was a goalie fight, and it was the happiest moment of my broadcasting career. Thrown there as Cinderella just backhands it. Huskies trying to knock it down. It kind of chipped through the air a little bit, and that one kept in by Gasser. Troy Gasser, good job. He takes a slapper high and wide. Hoover will go for the clearance there. 1:12 left on the penalty to Seth Starr, but the Ducks can't squeak it out of their zone. Huskies still with it and trying to set up on the power play. Behind the net, centering, couldn't handle it cleanly. Very dangerous opportunity for Washington. Cinderella now with the shot that goes wide.
just unable to clear the zone are the Ducks.
And now back for Gasser. One timer there. Great look between Gasser and Tavin Jackson to try to set that one up. When Oregon still can't clear, Gasser still can't hit the net. Goes wide again, and now the Ducks get a clearance, and they'll get a line change, as will Washington.
Gasser probably should have taken an extra second to think about that one, as it drifts just well wide of any player on the ice. It's rather unfortunate.
And Ducks will get another half clearance there. This one only as far as the neutral zone before Washington gets it. Now J.D. White. J.D. White run into a little bit by Taron Donnelly. Not much contact there. And we've got a buzzer and a whistle again. So
oh, God.
We were talking about this at the intermission, and it was brought to my attention that this is not a user error on the scoreboard or at the buzzer. It's a system error, and that this happened last year as well. which makes it that much more strange that it's still happening. That's been, over about a year since then. And this time it creates another face-off in the Duck zone. They'll win that face-off. They got the stick on it, but it went right to Washington. 4 seconds, 3-star is standing in the box, and that's the nice part of the way that the penalty box setup is here. Is Seth Starr right out of the box, right back to the bench, and they get a different guy out there. Trevor Schott was the extra skater used. Oregon has to chase that one down. Harrison Landers is immediately run into as he gets into the corner. 10:24 left, nearing the halfway point of this game. Washington with a 2-0 lead. Trevor Schott was hounded there. And a penalty coming up here. This time it's against Washington's number 12.
It's going to be a high sticking.
And that is the goal scorer for Washington as well. Lucas Semkiw gets the high stick there.
They're going to be definitely glad he's out of the game for 2 minutes. The Ducks have got to do something here in this second period. If they want to get any of the momentum back, they've got to start turning it on right now.
Well, here they go. They do have Trevor Schott out there quarterbacking that power play at the point. Schott tries to shoot, but kind of misplaced the puck a little bit. Oregon, though, lucky to still retain possession. Chris Campbell now at the point as the Ducks sliding over a little bit and cycling. Now Schott's pass is knocked away by Alex Black, cleared the length of the ice, and Tavin Jackson's going to chase this one down. May get to it first and does, but the Ducks get it back. Here comes Oregon again. Moving it forward for Jesse Leonard. Leonard across the blue line, and Leonard dumps it around. Nick Skibara is going to have to go to get that. Skibara now back for Campbell and then for Hoover. Now back to Campbell. He takes a shot. Rebound opportunity there, but he couldn't get to it cleanly, could Trevor Schott. And now it goes back all the way into the neutral zone. Joe Hoover with it with 1:14 left on the Ducks power play. Chris Campbell across the blue line. And squirts out again. Joe Hoover has to go back to get it. 9:19 left, second period, so officially beyond the halfway point in this game. Oregon yet to score, Washington with 2. Here's Hoover. Hoover with a nice flipped pass to Jesse Leonard. Leonard, though, will just go into the corner. Now back, Chris Campbell. Campbell knocked down, lost the puck, and it's going to go once again the length of the ice. 35 seconds left. Great PK so far out of Washington. Jesse Leonard touched by Cody Dries, and now for Jake Yale. Dries again, and now Zach Foss will go to the corner. Zach Foss tries to turn around, keeps the puck, kept in by Oregon. They take the shot. Rebound is there, still loose somewhere. We haven't had it blown yet, and the Ducks retain possession. Couldn't get it home. Jake Yale. Yale in the corner, moving around, now centers for Donnelly. Donnelly couldn't handle it though, and it's a break for Washington. 3-on-2 break, 3-on-1 if they really hurry, and they couldn't get it to tap in home. That was almost identical to how they scored their second goal. And now here's Oregon, a little bit of end-to-end action. Jake Yale has his stick chopped at there. Good, clean stick check from Washington. Back for Harrison Landers. Landers circles it around. And big collision there involving two of the bigger guys on the ice. Washington got the better of that one. Donnelly has to go to chase that one. And now Cody Dries with it. 7:35 left, second period. Ducks looking for that first goal. Donnelly now slides it. Touched by Pat Taylor's stick, and Taylor's going to go to chase that one. Taylor centers it. It ends up loose, and good effort there from Pite on that play. Big hit thrown there, or attempted thrown hit by Michael Luke. I think it was mostly just Luke colliding himself with the boards. That one is going to be gloved by Howry after the slap shot from the blue line by Braden Kochak. 7:01 left. What's got to change for the Ducks, Dylan?
You know, Isaac, that's a great question. So far, we've kind of seen the Ducks spending a little bit too much time in their defensive zone. Obviously, we've talked about passing not being very crisp for the Ducks yet. That's consistent throughout the neutral zone, defensive zone, and the offensive zone. I think they're kind of spending a lot of time running the puck right into the boards, and you'd like to see them cycle it as well as Washington State did. But, here we are.
Michael Luke with a shot there that was deflected in front but wide by Chris Campbell. And then Campbell throws a big ol' hit, but Washington's going to retain possession. Now Jesse Leonard. Leonard behind the net for Skibara. Here comes Scooby, now back for Darren Toller. Toller will fire it on, and maybe a deflection for the wanting there. Ducks still trying to move through and still keeping the puck is Oregon. It's Trevor Schott having to work very hard with it as Washington fires it up off the netting. No delay of game, though, at this level.
No, that's not a call in ACHA. And I think there'd be a lot of that if they did claw that.
There'd be a great deal of that, for sure. Instead, the faceoff, though, will just stay in the Husky zone as it was cleared directly out of play. Jake Yale is going to dig in for said faceoff for the Ducks of Oregon. Schott tries to go take that one away in the corner and does, but couldn't get it to a teammate. And now Washington with it. Washington trying to move it out, and they do, but Oregon may, well, and it looked like they might, but then Tavin Jackson won the race to it, and then Jackson is hit through the middle by Joe Hoover. Good clean hit from Joe.
Great. We've seen Joe Hoover lay the body on a couple of people so far in this game. It's kind of been a focal point for him so far, and I think that's good, getting people fired up and really letting them know you're there. Joe Hoover, one of the senior guys on this team. If they're going to look to a few players, Joe Hoover's definitely one of them to get them amped up.
And here's Schott through the zone. Trevor Schott is run into himself, and that puck out of play again.
Oh boy, big hit laid on Schott, and he's not feeling too well right now. Taking his time skating back to the bench.
Schotty's one of those guys that word gets around about him around the conference. He's one of the most talented players in the conference. He's also been known to speak a little bit sometimes, and maybe there is some extra motivation, particularly for a team like Washington, when they get the opportunity to lay a body on Trevor. We do get a penalty coming up here, though, and it does look, for every indication is that it will be against Oregon.
I guess I didn't see that one. What happened there?
I didn't see the penalty. I saw the penalty call, and I saw a Husky player lying in front of their bench, so generally an indication. Can't see that. Sammy Rosenberg, he's going to get the gate here.
Interesting.
Sammy gets those penalties sometimes just because he's big. I wonder if maybe that's what happened there.
I couldn't see that, obviously, as the ref has his back turned to us. Could be a roughing, possibly.
I feel like we would have been able to identify a rough if you put the arm out, so I have to assume maybe boarding.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. Well, choose your own adventure as Sammy takes 2 minutes to think about what he did, whatever it may be.
Whatever it may have been. And it's a big 2 minutes for Washington, again, just killing time off this clock at this point. The Huskies with a 2-0 lead, 4:55 left in this second period. And Oregon, you feel like, would do well to get a goal before the end of this period if they're going to be coming back in this game. But it's not going to happen there. It'll happen for Washington right in front of Howery on the power play. 2 power play goals for Washington now?
Yes, that is correct. That is the second off of a power play for Washington. And then, that's something, like I've said, we've seen from the Ducks consistently throughout the years and consistently throughout this season. Taking penalties probably at the most inopportune times, not that you can necessarily control it, but
well, 3-0 is the score, and Washington has the lead with 4:42 left in the second period.
Oregon definitely with their work cut out for them so far. As we've seen the Huskies just a overall consistent team throughout the season. We haven't really seen them really give up too many goals.
No, I mean, Oregon has scored a couple goals against Washington this year, but, 3 of those games, and one of them you can throw out the window. The first I-5 Cup game, Oregon's 6 goals came in about 19 shots, but they gave up 13 because they had fewer than 13 players at the end of the night. But, really 3 of the 4 I-5 Cup games have been pretty thoroughly dominated by Washington. And I wouldn't say this one is a domination, but on the scoreboard, it's not been good for Oregon so far. That can change, though, and it can change in a hurry. It just takes one moment. And that's the moment the Ducks are trying to manufacture here. It will be thrown the length of the ice for icing, and they'll get a face-off in the Husky zone.
And this'll do good. If they can get a goal here off of this face-off, it'll be big momentum-wise for them to at least end the second period with anything at all on the board other than penalty minutes. As unfortunate as it is to say, that's kind of the way it's been unfolding so far.
Well, the Ducks get that face-off win. Darren Toller trying to keep that one in. It's one piece of Darren Toller's game that has exponentially improved this season.
Absolutely.
Is his ability to keep that puck inside the blue line. It was something last year that I think really frustrated him, and it was, a lot of those moments where Oregon would have something good going in the zone, it would squirt back to 26 at the blue line, and he'd be in the right position, and he would just find a way to bounce over his stick. And this year, it really hasn't been a problem for him. So, you can't say enough about what the effort that he's put in. For my money, that aside, just the most improved player on this Ducks team from last year to this year. Ducks are starting to throw the body around a little bit here, and one of the referees doesn't like it.
It's going to be on Cody Drees. I'm not entirely sure what I don't know what that signal was, but I guess.
What do you do?
Maybe we'll find out.
I think that's a rough.
Yep.
Which is a penalty that, as long as there has been an Oregon hockey broadcast, we've been critical of roughing penalties because it just seems like when a referee thinks, oh, that was a big hit, a lot of times they'll end up calling it a roughing, and there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of rhyme or reason to it. But I am a neutral broadcaster. I am a neutral broadcaster. I am a neutral broadcaster. And we're back.
I think it boils down to, same exact thing as hybrid icing. I just don't understand.
Yeah, I'll chalk that one up to the people that are paid to understand it.
Exactly, yeah.
So Jackson Howery
advanced.
taken out of the play there by a Husky that was sliding in. Nothing malicious, but certainly would have been enough to nullify a goal, you would have hoped. And now we get a penalty against Washington. Can't tell if it's going to be Friedman or Tavin Jackson that took it.
Did anything happen on that play? It looked like they were, all just playing rough at the
We'll call it a
boards.
boarding. We seem to be calling a lot of things boarding tonight. As Mason Friedman would also like an explanation.
No real argument from him. I think he understands. I didn't see it, but
The fact that he's not really complaining of too much, though.
It must have been there.
Maybe someone was there. And Cody, even on that rough, didn't complain too much, although there was conversation, as there always is with Cody. He's a fiery, talkative guy. We'll put it at that.
Absolutely.
Sciabara digging in for the faceoff now, 4-on-4.
Bit of open ice here.
And, yeah, this is the two offensively that you want out there if you're Bill Leahy for Oregon with Scooby and Trevor Schott. But that'll have to wait as now Devin Garg has the puck. Rebound again, another rebound left. And Washington will make it 4-0 on the third rebound there. And that's Jackson Howery's season in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Is he makes a good save, he makes another good save, and then there's just another rebound there. And he can't do everything. He cannot face 40 shots a game and have this be a winning team.
Exactly. It's unfortunate. No one was there to clear the puck, and the Huskies capitalized on it. As you want to do, that's exactly. As a hockey player, that's exactly what you want to do. Throw pucks on net, hope for a rebound, and get those easy chip-ins. It's perfect.
So as it stands right now, we'll see USC and Utah tomorrow. USC and Cal tomorrow in the 9-5 game. We'll see Washington run into Utah, and Oregon will play Washington State in a full slate of games tomorrow. Remember, the 5th place game making its debut here at the PAC-8 tournament. But who knows? Still 21 or so minutes of hockey, but 45 left in this one, and you can score a goal pretty darn quickly. Oregon's just got to get on the board here as that one's thrown wide. Zach Foss will try to get to it over the skates and sticks of the Ducks. Donnelly back with it behind the net again, but Washington's going to get to it first. Devin Garg now. Garg had it and lost it and then found it again. A minute 17 left in this second period. 17 seconds left on the penalty to Cody Dries, and then Oregon will have a very abbreviated power play. But Washington trying to center again, and that one sticked away, nothing doing there. 4-3, 2-1, and Dries is out of the box, but Yale will just dump it in, and Oregon will not get the immediate power play. And the Ducks, I don't believe, have 5 guys out. There we go. Okay, now we're all good. As Landers tries to chase that one down.
Yeah, that was...
We get a trip there?
No, that was way offsides. Harrison Landers tried with all his might to keep that in the offensive zone, but just wasn't able to, as he's ridden out of the zone past the blue line by one of the Husky players. Great defense by the Huskies.
And 11 seconds of power play time left on the very abbreviated Duck power play. There was about 30 seconds of it total, but by the time Oregon had its lines figured out in the power play, it was about 20 seconds, and now we're down to 10. Someone lost a wheel there. Yeah, they couldn't call that a trip against Michael Luke or an interference. Dude's limping to the bench and runs into a guy, and I think he's going to get a penalty for it. I'm supposed to be nude. I don't understand that one for the life of me. There was a collision, but
looked like one of the refs picked up something off of the ice. Might be missing something from his skate, and I think that's kind of what's going on for Michael Luke. Yeah, it looks like a piece of his steel might have cracked off. That is not good.
So Luke loses a wheel and runs into somebody trying to get himself back to the bench, and that's a malicious act that's going to cause a 2-minute penalty. You wonder. And maybe it's just a reputation call against 18. Maybe there was something more than I was able to see there, but that one we did have a pretty good look at. And I don't know if the ref missed him fall, and that's why. But that seems a little bit strange. As it stands, though, we can't do anything about it now, and Oregon is going to have to kill off this penalty, which is something that, boy, have we said that a few times this year. And 1 second, that will do it for the second period of play. So we will take a break and be back with you for the third period. And we are back here, third period about to get underway, barring what would be something short of a miracle here. We are going to see the Huskies take down the Ducks yet again this year, and that is something that is no more fun for me to say than it is for the Duck faithful at home to hear me saying, although I'm sure the Washington fans are probably repeating that every time it gets said, because it's really been, Dylan, it's been a dominant year from Washington in this I-5 Cup Series.
Absolutely. If you're a Husky, you got to be you got to be happy with the season they've had. They've been consistent throughout, and it's good to see.
So Cinderella now. Cinderella will take a slapper from the blue line. Huskies going for the deflection. Not able to knock that one through. Cinderella with it again. Cinderella just outside of the reaching stick of Nick Sciabara. Cycles it around now. Backhanded for the Huskies. Tavin Jackson trying to get to it. And here's Gasser. Gasser slides it for Cinderella. Cinderella back to Gasser, who one time the shot didn't get a good handle on it. Stick does stay intact, though. He'll give it a grip just to make sure. And another one-timer there as Washington's trying to make it look pretty now. Up 4-0 in the third period, 19:05 left. And still on the power play for 37 seconds are the Huskies after Michael Luke's interference call. And we have to hope that Michael Luke was able to get his skate fixed. And that one in front of Howery, he'll clap down on it and makes the save. And is that Sam Rosenberg there? Is that what you're trying to point at, Dylan?
Oh no, I was pointing to the fact that they,
is he just sitting
they
on the
decided
bench?
to turn off the heaters for everyone here. That's good to see.
And we had a heater for the second period right over us, and I guess they decided we were not worthy.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've gone cold.
The truth in that statement. Here's Washington now. Washington cycling it around again. Still 2 seconds of power play time. Now it's killed. Luke to the bench. And it does look like he's got both wheels back under him. Semkew hit hard there, and the Ducks trying to move out. They couldn't handle it cleanly, though. And losing control of that one was Rosenberg. Or, excuse me, Yale there. 17:56 left. That one chipped up, just stays off the netting. And Taron Donnelly goes back to collect it. Donnelly slides it across. Now it's back for Donnelly. And up, deflected once more. 17:44 left in the ballgame.
Quite an uphill battle here for the Ducks.
And Jesse Leonard didn't know where that one was. Skating right by him with the puck. Was a Husky there to get the puck. Almost turned into another Washington chance. The Ducks just trying to get something going. Maybe this is it. Can they center it for Leonard? They can't. Instead, they'll just keep it behind the net. That's Nick Sciabara with it. Sciabara out there with Campbell. Campbell with it now. Campbell throws it high on goal and saved by Feldman. So face-off coming up now, won by the Ducks. They'll get it back around to Donnelly. Donnelly trying to find a deflection for Campbell there. Nothing doing. Back for Chris now. And behind the net again. Backhander there, deflected wide. And it's Washington with the puck. Leonard trying to stick check it away, but able to move around him there is Devin Garg. And Garg fires a pass that they will call icing.
Huh. I think everyone on the ice is a little perplexed by that one.
We've referenced timed icing already today, and it's a strange rule. I don't get as confused by it watching the NHL level games, but there are still calls there. It is a hard rule to understand, and part of it might just be that I don't fully get it, but by any stretch, Washington had a chance to get to that puck. Ducks will take it, though, as it gets the puck into the Husky zone and prohibits a line change for Washington. Now Joe Hoover. Hoover throwing it towards goal well wide. Poked around for Rosenberg. Rosenberg will just fire, goes wide. And Hoover's going to have to go all the way back down to get this one. Husky falls down there. Hoover again goes back to collect it. 4-0. Still the score for Washington. Pat Taylor now goes to try and track it down. And the buzzer goes again. It's the 4th time tonight. It's been a pretty much once a period occurrence.
You know, that's pretty frustrating for all teams involved. You know, especially the Huskies. This is the 2nd time now for them that it's going to result in a face-off in their zone.
And I think Oregon won both of those face-offs. Interestingly, the Ducks were not able to do what Washington State did and turn that face-off into a goal. And in fact, this is dumped for Devin Garg, and don't think it doesn't look dangerous just because Garg couldn't get to it cleanly. Now back for the Huskies. Thought about a slap shot, took a slap shot. Loose in front and knocked away. Collected a little bit by the Ducks, and they can't get the pass on the breakout clean to Yale. And Zach Foss tracks it down. Foss tries to center it, just gets around now, getting it for Yale, but he's not there fully. Ducks do keep control of it, though. Donnelly throws it on goal, deflected in front, but pouncing on it is Feldman, who has looked outstanding tonight.
Great save. If there's one shining star, one go-to for the Huskies that hasn't faltered at all in this game, it is Feldman. You know, as it stands now, we'll keep a clean slate throughout this game, and you know, I think he's been the key. No matter what mistakes the Huskies may have made, he's always been there to back them up.
Yeah, there haven't been many. There haven't been many mistakes
there have not been
made
many.
by that team in white, but when they have given Oregon a chance, Feldman's been right there. We got another penalty coming up here. High sticking the call.
That's going to be Gasser.
So
that's
the Ducks to the power play.
The penalty kill for the Huskies has looked
It's all looked strong. The penalty, they've looked strong at even strength.
Exactly.
They've looked strong in the power play, and they've looked strong killing penalties tonight.
They haven't faltered at all.
Chris Campbell rips that one around. Washington will get to it. They'll try to clear, and it squeaks past the Ducks.
Great clear by the Huskies.
All the way the length for Howry. Howry back for Landers. And hits the Duck stick, and just nothing's going right.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate.
On the breakout, on the power play, they get the clean pass, and it bounces off the stick and goes up and into the bench. And that's going to be a face-off because of where everything happened, all the way back in the Ducks' zone. So just, you know, the littlest things are not going right for the Ducks tonight. The only thing they've had in their favor has been the fact that they look better and the horn. Other than those two things, which really don't go a lot for you, it's been a rough night for the boys in green. Harrison Landers had it stopped and cleared again by Washington. Goes all the way down. Ducks can't complete that pass. Washington gets the clear one more time. This time Oregon lets it only go back as far as the blue line before Taron Donnelly gets to it. And here's Trevor Schott. Schott dekes around a few guys. Schott trying to put it home, and Feldman again just almost literally in that instance standing on his head tonight. Zach Foss. Foss takes a hard check into the boards and squeaks down. Will roll all the way one more time. Opportunity shorthanded maybe for Tavin Jackson. Schott will go for the body there. 28 seconds left in Gasser's penalty. The Ducks have gotten the puck once more. And Zach Foss with it. Foss now. Kicked away by Alex Black. Now Jake Yale takes it. Jake Yale, what a move. Another move from Yale and goes wide. And the Ducks just can't keep it in the zone, and that's Trevor's shot. Having that bounce over his stick like that, that's one of the Ducks' best players. Jackson makes it 5-0 on the wraparound.
And that slight miscue not to kick someone while they're down, that results in a shorthanded goal.
That is probably your dagger.
I'd have to say so. The way the Ducks are skating, they have no energy. They're looking lifeless out there right now, and they're not looking like they have much hope as far as the rest of this game goes.
Face-off coming up. Chris Campbell trying to get around. Scabara there. Leonard there. Leonard throws it wide, takes a strange bounce, and goes back behind the net for Campbell. Campbell now, and Landers just does keep that one in the zone, but the shot hits some bodies on the way through, and now it's Washington with the puck again. Only briefly, though, the Ducks do get it back. Landers will rip a shot that took a piece out of the Huskies there. 16 is Joseph Kinkoff that had that one hit him pretty hard and took a moment for him to get up. Looks like he's okay.
Yeah, he's not feeling well. Sits down immediately. We'll probably look to him to take a little bit extra time. Probably.
And with the 5-0 lead, you've got the luxury to do that.
Absolutely.
As Oregon at this point, it's not a comfortable position to be in, but you're at the point where you just want to score.
Yep. And with each Oregon offensive chance, Feldman is just looking better and better. There's no crack there.
This is a frustrated Ducks team because this is not a program that is used to this. These are not guys that are used to this. And, I mentioned earlier that they've kind of let games get away from them a few times. That's not, by any means saying that there's a lack of heart on this team. If there's one thing that this team has, it's a lot of heart and, it's a lot of passion for the game. But they just, for whatever reason this year, they have not been able to put everything together 60 minutes a night. And I think the biggest part of that is just the number of guys they have. They're used to having, 3 or 4 more guys than they do this year, which might not sound like a lot, but 5 more guys is another whole line and a D pair. And they haven't had enough guys to be scratching people really this year. They haven't had enough guys, to be given to be able to go line for line with another team. Someone's getting double shifted pretty much all the time, and it's really just, I think, been a little too much for Oregon to overcome this whole season.
Yeah, they've kind of been plagued by injuries and guys missing games because of class and whatnot. But if there was one time you could point to them being possibly at their strongest, it would have been tonight. They've got
their full squad tonight.
They've got their full squad for the first time, like we said, since around December, and it's much of the same story.
And credit to Washington too. This isn't supposed to be an excuse train for Oregon. The Huskies have come out and they've played fantastically well. They've played as a cohesive team.
Oh, absolutely.
They've moved the puck well. They've been excellent on special teams. They've been excellent at 5-on-5, and they deserve every bit of this lead right now.
Oh, 100%. I don't think you could point to any error in the Huskies game tonight. They've come out fired up. They had, they were skating hard the entire time, and they executed to a T exactly what they wanted to do.
Ducks have taken another penalty here.
And this is kind of where you can point to not taking penalties. Being down 5-0, it's frustrating, but probably not as much as 6-0.
Yeah. And way less than 5-1.
Exactly. And these are the times that they really call on Jackson Howery to step up, and that's
incredibly unfair to a goaltender.
It's asking a lot, especially of a freshman goalie with someone who's as talented as Jackson Howery and has as much promise as Jackson Howery. Even still, having to stop that many saves, some are gonna go in. Statistically, it's impossible to stop everything.
Howery's save percentage this year which is not a statistic you can put a lot of faith in at this level because most rinks don't keep an accurate shot count. But the prep material that we got from Matt Coma has Howry's save percentage at about 820, which is, it's not great. But at this level, it's really not a bad save percentage.
Yeah.
But he's faced too many shots, and that's been the case all year. Oregon has spent too much time in their defensive zone, and Howry's been facing, he's been making 30 saves and giving up 8 goals, and that's not a position that he should be in.
This is looking forward as far as the Ducks squad, though. This is looking forward and looking back at the same time. It's kind of the same position old goalie Danny Cockrell was thrust into as well. You know, he was thrust in immediately, and they asked a lot of him. He ended up being a solid goalie within the PAC-8 conference, and I'm looking to these two teams later on in all these skaters' career, both young teams. It's going to be interesting to see how they all flesh out.
Ducks are going to have to get some help defensively, though. This team is almost entirely a junior squad. There's a few sophomores, a few freshmen, and 3 seniors, but one of those seniors is Donnelly is a senior, is he not? And Donnelly, one of the defensemen, and it's already a small unit, so they're going to have to figure something out as Oregon's taken another penalty here, and Cinderella's made it 6-0, and it's a chance to be bigger than that.
Great shot by Cinderella, and they should definitely, some of this should carry over into tomorrow night as they will take on the powerhouse.
And who knows what Washington can do against Utah. You actually had this comment after the 4th I-5 Cup game, or it may have been Colin Kapman that was comment me. That, maybe not this year, but this Husky team might be good enough to beat Utah in a year or two.
Absolutely.
And maybe even this year, if they can get this kind of even production and they can have as good a game out of Feldman, and I would argue that Feldman or Jeffrey Miles, who's ever in net for UW, is going to face more shots than they faced tonight when they take on Utah.
Oh, for sure.
But Utah will be the absolute favorite, and they will be the money would be on Utah, so to speak. But Washington's good, and they can fill up the nets, and that's really hard to contest against, because when you can score as often and as easily as Washington has scored, you're never out of a game.
Yep.
And Utah is maybe really good at killing off a 2-0 lead or something, but they're going to have to score more than 2 goals.
Oh,
they're going to have, and which they can.
Absolutely.
If you look at their roster, they do that all the time.
Yep.
But
it's definitely a young squad, and I do believe wholeheartedly when I said that I think this is kind of the time for Washington. They've got a strong team. If they can expand on this year by year, they've definitely got a shot. I'm impressed with what they have.
They've got a great coaching staff. They have. Matt Cleaton's a great coach. He's brought in some great assistants to work with him. And they've got some good young guys at Washington, some good leadership. And this is a team that we thought was going to fall off the face of the earth a little bit with Ryan Minkoff losing. I mean, you lose a guy at the PAC-8 level that is literally playing professionally right now.
Arguably, they're stronger this year.
I would agree easily.
Yep.
I think that they were not, they were a middle of the road in this conference team, and they are solidly, from what I've seen so far, the second best team in this conference.
Absolutely.
Right now.
Yep.
And it'll be interesting if we get to see them against Cal, because that's a game I want to see USC strong. The entire conference has really taken a step forward this year, perhaps outside, as much as I hate to say it, outside of Eugene. 8:04 left in this game. Ducks just trying to get on the board here and get something positive going into tomorrow. And Cinderella again towards Howry.
Make no mistake about being biased.
Yes. Still the best dressed team in the country, though.
I do like their jerseys. I can't lie on that one.
Ducks get the clearance there on the power play, or on the penalty kill, rather. 7:35 left in this ball game, and again, barring a miraculous turn of events for Oregon, that's going to do it. Mason Friedman now through the zone. Back up to the point for Gasser, tipped away out of the zone. Huskies have to regroup.
At this point, try to work in some stuff, get your legs under you, get at least some momentum going into your game tomorrow. Don't take stupid penalties. You know, we saw it in the last I-5 series. Just don't get out there and try to, you know, act like it's Game 7, because there are games to be played, you know, for both teams. Keep it smart.
Yeah, this game tomorrow, as it stands again, it's going to be Oregon and Washington State. The Ducks swept Washington State at home, but had a little bit of trouble with them on the road later on in the year. That promises to be a good game. And USC and Cal both at 9 and 5. That will be an interesting one. And then it looks like we'll have Washington and Utah if this all continues.
You know, I'm the people I'm most impressed with, just night and day from the beginning of the season, is Washington State. You know, like we did hear the Washington State coach say that they are a completely different team. You know, they have just bettered their game 100%.
Ducks trying to do something there. Trevor Schott had an opportunity, hit side netting again. As Seth Starr is run into there, separated from the puck. Zach Foss is sent to the ice. Darren Toller with a touch for Trevor Schott. Schott trying to slide it around to Zach Foss.
Foss is what?
You lost me, Dylan. Around the net now. And Schott with the interception. Schott trying to find Zach Foss and couldn't. Zach has to go back to get it. Left with no other option but to just chip it behind the boards. Now it's Yale. Yale back deflected, and big collision there again at center ice. That was Cinderella and Michael Luke. 5:15 left on the clock. And a glove save from Feldman.
Easy glove save by Feldman. Maybe a bit of an overreaction there by number 5. But, you know, he's protecting his goalie, so they will do that.
They will do that. Hockey players are known to protect their goaltenders.
That's a huge no-no. Anytime anyone even looks like they're thinking about
even
coming
looks
in.
at your goalie.
Yes. Feldman, another great save. You know, he's had a hot glove, and he's been hot all night. You know, I'm looking to him to really step up and be the star tomorrow against Utah. And he's going to have a good game to really get the edge.
Yeah, he's going to, if whoever plays for Washington tomorrow against Utah, whether it's Feldman or whether it's Jeff Miles, is going to need to have the best game of their season. They're going to need to stay out of the box themselves. They're going to need to rotate the puck and do everything that we've seen they can do. But, you know, who knows? I mean, Washington has looked really, really good this year.
Yep.
I do not like saying those words in that order, but they have looked really good this year.
Absolutely. You know, I'm hopeful. I like their, you know, last year the Ducks had their shot against Utah, and this year UW have their shot against Utah, and it'll be an interesting game tomorrow. We'll see what'll happen.
And referee is going to try and maintain control here. Looks like some matching minors given out. We'll play fours for 2 minutes. It's Cody Dries sitting down for the Ducks. And 36 in white, which is
someone, if I'm not mistaken.
It must not be 36, because there is not a 36 in white. We've seen the score guys get numbers wrong a couple times tonight.
That looks to be number 17 in the box. Nowhere near 36.
Oh, where I flipped up read the wrong sides of the scoreboard. It is Chris Campbell and 17 on the other team. Cody Dries is 17 for Oregon. 17 in white is Simon Machulik. Wishful thinking, perhaps, looking at that scoreboard and wanting home to be Oregon. Donnelly to Schott. Schott. Puck ends up behind the net somehow, and the Ducks can't keep it in the zone, and it's going to go the length of the ice, and we got a penalty coming up.
Looks to be Trevor Schott.
Well, Washington is arguing a lot for a penalty that would be against Schott. I do have to assume it's against Washington. Washington fans not happy either. You'd think they would be all right with the score is what it is.
You know, I'd say play Feldman tomorrow. He's been looking really good tonight. He's
and
I like the way he's playing.
Hot goalie is important in a tournament.
You know,
it's not
that's...
Well, no, you're right. It is on Trevor Schott.
Yep, that's going to be Trevor Schott. It's honestly...
Oh, and did they give matchings again? I think there's two guys in the... matchings again. Schott and Matchulik as the referees are... They've probably seen the tape of what happened one of the last time these two teams played, and they're just grasping to any semblance of control over these guys.
Yep.
So 3-on-4, which doesn't make sense because there's 2 penalties being served by Washington.
There's 4.
Oh, we got 4-on-4. So
4-on-4.
Had a duck got lost behind Joe Hoover there.
Math sometimes is hard.
It is hard. Math is a complicated subject.
Anyways, like I was saying, I guess I am part of the camp that, you know, you see a goalie pitch a shutout in a game the night before. I say keep him in there. You know, not to say both goalies for UW aren't great, which they are. You know, both very capable, both of equal skill set. I'm just that's kind of my 2 cents for whatever it's worth, which is not a whole lot.
And again, 4-on-4 there. Shot for Oregon off the face-off goes wide. 3:55 left now. Ducks again just trying to get on the scoreboard, do something positive going into tomorrow. But it's not looking very good for them so far. Hoover's going to have to chase this one down. And here come the Ducks again. It's flipped up ice. Knocked down by Washington. Taylor's going to get to that one. Taylor hitting the boards. Drees out there as well now, or can't be 17. Or was Drees rather. Still reading the scoreboard wrong.
Hey.
Darren Toller passed there to Donnelly. Yale flips it through and pokes it. Jake Yale has been a strong point for the Ducks tonight. And hasn't been able to score, though. Puck is loose in front, ends up with a one-time opportunity for Taryn Donnelly. He couldn't put it home. 2:50 left in this one. First set of skaters out of the box. And Jake Yale does just keep it in. Yale there out there. Good stick handling from Jake again. Lost it a little bit, but's able to come back and get it. Donnelly caroms it and it's taken by Cinderella. 2:28 left in this one. Here's Christian Cinderella again. He shoots and it's saved into the netting.
Uh, 19 seconds left on those 2 matching minors. And not a whole lot left to be flushed out in this game. UW, if you're just joining us for whatever reason, I don't know. Handled this game quite cleanly from start to finish, and that's going to be another penalty.
And that one's the right call again. .2:15 left. Oregon's going to be shorthanded for almost all of it. And it feels like you could say that for much of this game, and it's been the Ducks getting in their own way.
Yeah, it's the same, well, I guess.
Stop me if you've heard that one before, Dylan.
I wish I could say it was the same story as Washington State, but, you know, Washington State looked strong through 2 periods. The Ducks not able to get anything going.
The first was okay for the Ducks. The first period was strong. They were 1-0. It looked like it was not going to be a game that devolved into this.
Yep.
And a couple of power play goals in the second period, a couple of power play goals in the third period, and that's how you develop a 6-0 scoreline.
Absolutely.
Washington with it now on the power play, 4-on-3 now, 5-on-4, or will be 5-on-4 in the first set. Will be out on the whistle. Huskies still cycling it, moving it around, being very patient, trying to set up the perfect play here. And again, that's the luxury of a 6-0 lead in a power play. Thrown on goal again, and a save made by Howery again into the netting.
Both teams, not much energy. Ducks, rough night for them. Huskies looking on tomorrow. Mentally, I'm sure already in the back of their minds getting ready for Utah. They will have their work cut out for them, as Utah has been and historically has been a powerhouse in the PAC-8 tournament, PAC-8 conference.
Utah has appeared in the PAC-8 final every year that they've been in the PAC-8.
Yes.
Haven't always won it, but they've always been right there, and they will get that bye into the semifinals tomorrow, where they will face this Utah team. We get another buzzer.
Hey, why not another one?
Just anything to prolong the agony for the Ducks right now.
What's that?
We are now well into the last minute of play, 50 seconds left. And credit 100% for this one to Mr. Feldman. He has, he's somebody who he's a strange goalie, because you look at him in warm-ups.
Yep.
He's huge. He's a little tall and awkward. You think he's got a big 5-hole, and then he takes it away from you.
See, I think that's his strongest suit. Is Feldman has been a rock of the team so far tonight, and we see that almost every single time. He shows wide 5-hole every single time down the ice, and then just slams it home. And he's a great goalie. I look to him to really do well in this tournament.
And that's 10 seconds left, and I think we're all over but the crying here. Huskies get it to Garg. Garg will go back in his own zone. 3 seconds, 2, 1, and we're out of here.
Absolutely great game from the Huskies.
Yeah, dominant performance by Washington. Hats off to James Feldman. A shutout at this league, in this level, in this setting, is not something to rub your nose at. So Washington played absolutely well. Oregon, unfortunately for the Ducks, did not. Both of these teams will play tomorrow. Oregon will play for a 5th place game. Washington will play for a berth in the PAC-8 championship game. Signing off after 2 games today for Dylan Lee, Josh Hafley on camera, and Bella Manning producing. My name is Isaac Rosenthal. Thank you for joining us. We will see you tomorrow.